left hanging out of the bowl.
Welcome everyone to the Growers Forum.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. Just give yourselves a round of applause just for getting up today out of bed. Bless you. Thank you. To those of you who didn't make it, I'm glad you tuned in. This book right here is what we're here to talk about. The Grower's Handbook. I have many books. Marijuana Garden Saver, Ed Rosenthal Grower's Handbook, Jorge Cervantes Marijuana Horticulture Guide. Everybody knows these books. These are awesome books. But if we don't understand what's in this book, this might lead us to a world of difficulty and lifetimes of failure just due to misunderstanding. So we're going to always refer back to these books. If anybody's got a question, this doesn't answer it, I'll hand it to somebody off. You guys can find it and we'll talk about what the pictures are that show it and what backs up this information. If you find fault about something in this book, please bring it to my attention so we can bring it up to date. This book is printed and it's aged. It's not currently printed out yesterday, so it could have changed last night. Things change quickly in the growing industry. One of the things I realized is, by the way, my name is Buddy. I'm from Clio Cultivation here in Michigan. We've been in business 8.5 years. And I realized if you're just gonna do the same old thing, it's not gonna work for very long. After a while, you have to continue to innovate. So I developed a theory. If you don't innovate, you die. Maybe not you, but your plants, your garden. If you're not constantly thinking of the latest thing, using old, outdated lights. For example, if you have changed your bulbs in 6 to 12 months, you may not have healthy plants. So if you're watching this video and you think to yourself, it's been a while, go look at the date that Shane and I marked on your bulb when you bought it. And I think you'll find it's probably outdated because time flies in the growing industry in your life. It's been 6 months to a year. We're having a bulb sale in December this time of year to remind everyone, keep your bulbs current. We have seen growers having bulb problems. They're 4 or 5-year-old bulbs. Need to vacuum, like what's happening? The light, it's just a simple light bulb change in and of itself can make all the world of difference. So we're going to discuss this book in detail. And I think David Robinson, wherever you are, David, Garden Sage, look him up on Instagram and Facebook and just follow the guy. He is the guy that saved my life. Without David Robinson, I don't know where I'd be at. I'd probably be at 11394 North Saginaw Road, still trying to figure this out. And people would be, mythology would be the reigning factor, okay? But this book in this area, believe it or not, is just going to set the tone. So if you would refer to your Growers Forum Week 1, they have one of these. What are we going to do today? We're going to wait for Mike to get here. If you don't know Mike, you should know Mike. He's part of the industry. He's got knowledge. He's got delicious seeds. He helped me get into the seed industry after not knowing who to trust. I saw grow supplies. Well, if I sell you seeds and they fail, guess what? You're coming and telling us that we sold you bad seeds in our store is no good, isn't it? Terrible. So, and plus it's legality. We weren't sure, so we just didn't do that. We sold dirt and light bulbs through Hydro Farm, Sunlight Supply, which is now Hawthorne, and all these other companies, right? So we just sell the equipment. We just warranty, if you buy something, we warranty your equipment. We don't sell any of the other products just due to the legalities and being misleading. Some people say certain breeders have bad seeds. We're going to talk about seeds today. Well, if you get a bad seed, then your garden it can be destroyed from just getting other seeds on other plants, for example. And it doesn't matter how good your lights are, and your fans and all the stuff we sell, you have bad plants. So we're going to cover all of that. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about cannabis and what it is. I believe it's cannabis is just God's gift to humanity. I don't believe a person gets to take credit for this, nor a corporation, nor a government, nor any language or internationality or nothing. That's why I like the holiday 420, because it's the international holiday of cannabis. All languages, all people recognize 420 around the world. And if they don't, 420 means cannabis. Okay, but somehow people always say it's God's gift. It's pretty interesting. I don't know where it came from. I don't know. We don't know the genetic age of everything and where it all came from. You know that one? Please, we're all here to share knowledge today. So you guys can just, if you know any answer that I'm saying I don't know, just shout it out. We'll take that. That's great. Somebody told me, I learned about solar panels. He said, there's no dumb question. The dumb question is, he said, what's the dumb question? I'm not sure what the saying goes. He said, it's not, the dumb question is when you don't ask. The question, that's the dumb question. The only dumb question is the one we didn't ask. So if there's any questions, please, we'll have time. We're going to talk about all this stuff. I don't tell people what to do at our grow shop, nor in life. Try not to bother people with that because I don't like being told what to do. So don't take this information like I'm telling anybody that what to do and go do anything. This is just what we've amassed, the knowledge. I just want to share it. We just legalized medical, came into recreational. I don't know what this means, but let's give a round of applause for Prop 1, recreational marijuana. What is that? People 21 and older can have 2.5 ounces and grow 12 plants. So this class could be for anybody who just wants to grow 12 plants in your home safely. You can do it now, I believe. I don't know, but I'm not a lawyer. So call Josh Cover, cannabis defender. He's an attorney. He knows cannabis questions, so answer them for free. Mitch, right? Michael, yes sir.
I have a question. If you grow from a seed, instead of living, you have a strong plant.
It's very possible if you grow from a seed versus a clipping that you'll have a better plant. That's a good thing to think of because when we sell dirt, light bulbs, and all this fancy equipment, yeah, go get clippings from your friends. Everybody share cuttings, right? No, we do not recommend to take in any cuttings. And the reason is you have to be very careful due to any problem that can be on it. So we're going to cover all this in the next 6 weeks. Bugs, powdery mildew in Michigan, it's terrible, or both. You get mites and powdery mildew at the same time, okay? Or they're just older and they don't grow as good and they're not as strong or whatever. Or you can get lucky and get a good cutting from somebody you know and have a success of a lifetime of growing. So I don't know. I don't gamble. I'm not a gambler.
Well, I just read an article about that. If you keep using the same clippings, they will revert themselves.
I have an old strain I'll show you in a little bit that's 35, 40 years old. It's still healthy today. So you can keep strains healthy. That's what this class is about too. It's about preserving your genetics. Please. Yes.
You look in the Horace Honest Bible in the breeding section, they, that myth about that you keep cutting up strain this week or there, they went all the way to, and just so everybody that doesn't know, when you start off with the first clipping off an F1 plant, it's called your C1, your clone 1. They went all the way to clone 20, they didn't notice the difference.
Dude, I'm at clone billion. I'm at clone billion. You know what I mean? We've been cloning this place since the 80s, right, Josh? I've been showing everybody that comes in here. I got a Northern Lights. We call it Northern Lights 5. I know it's from the 80s. I had it in high school. We knew the guys that were growing it. In 2010, when I started my store, the guy I knew, we got a lot of plants from those growers. They just had that strain the whole time. I still have it. It's right here. I grow it. It's right here.
When I grew Northern myself, I had a really strong strain that I can get no seeds, I had no problems, no mutations at all. So that could be part of it.
We'll cover that in a little bit. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to look at next on this sheet here is our plant is no way to be described as a drug. That's a slippery slope. People who recognize cannabis as a drug, you admit that, you say that out loud, it's kind of pitting yourself into a corner in my opinion. So we're going to read a quote from the Grower's Handbook. If you have your book, please. The first thing is, this is a very special book. Like I said, this is a one of a kind. I'm going to read what David wrote here. It says, "Dear buddy, it has been my mission to benefit humanity by contributing to the herb healing the nation. You, my man, exemplify my hopes and dreams. My sincerest appreciation to you for all the great work you're doing. Love and respect, David, the Garden Sage." Trust me, that's made me cry more than once. I appreciate that, David. You know that means a lot that you wrote that to me because I've talked to him a little bit about what I'm doing out here. And we have an agreement that we're just trying to bear the knowledge so people can heal themselves with this plant. It's not nothing you have to go buy anywhere else. You can just make it yourself. Okay, so it's the table of contents, just left side of the table of contents, please. Dave took time to address anyone who said growing is an evil thing. Let's talk about it real quick. And a quote. "Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food." Genesis 1:29. And if you follow along with that, then you can confront anybody who says this is some sort of evil thing. It just grows naturally in dirt or hydroponic, which is just water, or any sort of medium behind me here. Safe mediums we sell. So these things here say that this is a safe thing, it's a plant, and it's just like a fruit. And I tried to tell my wife when we first met, she didn't know about it. It's just like a food. You know, I just eat sometimes, I just drink water sometimes, and sometimes I like to smoke weed. It's wonderful. Love it. So we're gonna always consider that we can grow because cannabis is just a plant in any form of it, including concentrates, edibles, tinctures, cake batter, shatter, whatever you want to call it. There's funny words that come along with it. To be honest, it's just plants. It's just a plant material. There's no chemicals. There's no additives, really. It's just a flower that you dry it out, and we'll talk about what it becomes and what it is made of. And we'll everything in this book will explain what it is about. So the next thing is, does anybody else, you guys want to discuss that part of it? Does anybody have a question about how we look at it as to be just a plant more as a grower? I mean, what else could it be as you are a grower? Isn't it just that?
I know some years back I've had a medical card since the program inception, and I put marking on my doctor's slips when they say cheap drugs and marijuana. I put marker that because I am not medical.
Where was that form at?
All kinds of doctors.
Anywhere where you see a form where it says use illegal drugs, you can feel free to check no on that. You're just a cannabis user.
They're coming around now. Now there's one on there where it says medical. But before, when the program first came out, it was all illegal. And I'm like, no, they're not doing nothing illegal.
Exactly. I would even say that pertains to any form. Anything you see when you're traveling or any kind of purchases or anything you want to say. If it says illegal activity or illegal drugs, that's a definite no, especially now here in Michigan. That's a big old no. So we're a legal state now. Miraculously, everyone 21 and older can actually have cannabis in your pocket and smoke in private. You're good. You're legal. So we kind of confronted that. And now you can grow 12 plants. That was also contested. So this class is going to be focused on a person who wants to grow one plant up to hundreds of plants. It doesn't matter. You can say thousands of plants. It really does no difference. We're going to teach how to grow a plant to the best of your ability to a maximum yield.
Yeah, I got some in it.
All right? So the drug definition is any chemical
I agree with you.
you take that affects the way your body works. Drugs can change the messages your brain cells are sending to each other and to the body. So I fall back on that again. I don't really see where our cannabis plants fall into that definition. I'm going to go with more of just, smoking plant material. It's a natural thing that's grown from the ground that you like to, and you can do it, you don't have to smoke it. You can, there's inhalers some people like to use. There's oils and butters and lotions and brownies and pickles. You can make medicated pickles, medicated jerky and juice. You can juice the plant. You can rub it on you and smoke it and all this stuff. Like my friend Sapo says, he goes on and on. He's got a saying about it. But every kind of form. And that's okay if it helps you and you made it and you know what's in it and it's not all a bunch of chemicals that it could be if somebody else grew it for you. That's the thing. If you trust other people to grow for you, the chances of it having chemicals are pretty great. And excessive nutrients. We're going to cover everything that it could be and everything that you might be able to do yourself and get just as much results. Matter of fact, what I figured out and did the math here, if you really do well, you can get it down to 50 cents per gram or less for yourself. Or if you mess up and you're not doing so good, it's still going to cost you about $1 a gram. Unless you lose all your plants, you're only going to be paying $1 per gram. Isn't that better than the prices that you would find anywhere else? And so you might say, well, that's a lot of work, buddy. Come on. It isn't that bad. Okay, so we'll cover what this is entailing so you know exactly what it entails, why it miraculously gives you these huge yields, virtually work-free and effort-free, and why some people struggle to get small yields. Okie dokie, so everybody's got your book, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to put my signed copy away because that's too special to be leafing through today. We'll be working off my other Growers Handbook, my backup one I have. So we're going to be covering seed propagation, cuttings, and mother plants, the cloning process, when and how to transplant, water cycles, criteria and setup of the garden, proper feeding time, lighting choices, the secrets of maximum yield, a quick reference guide, as well as hands-on time with Blue Lab, as well as time with Mike from Delicious Seeds. I'm sure we'll have a break in there somewhere. Okay? So knowing what to do, that's great. That's wonderful. Knowing why, that's priceless. So I think a lot of people fall, a lot of the older growers out there in the world, they know what to do. Many of them just know what to do. They go through the routine they got. But to understand why, that's what we really want each of us to know. Because if we can know that and we can tell our friends, it's going to uncover all the future mysteries that we may not yet understand about growing. So all of us are continuously advancing growing. The purpose of this course is to help each of you determine exactly what you need to know to understand a complete working model of plant biology. If we understand the basics, we will be able to judge our gardens and our plant health more accurately. When a grower tries to diagnose a problem, it is very easy to assume it is nutrient deficiency. In reality, the nutrients are the last factor of maximum yield and are usually not the problem. The 4 factors that affect maximum yield in order of importance are the genetics, the environment, the culture of practice, technique, system, grower, mistake, accident, factor, water. I know that sounds like a lot. That's you and your water. And your nutrients are last. Can anyone please tell me, on the second page, the question is, there's no answer on this page. Don't answer, Anthony. Nobody that works here can answer. I already asked you yesterday. They already know the answer. Anyone who wasn't here yesterday,